Over the years, I've learned that leadership and learning are really similar, especially when it comes to success. Nick Drake Knight would call this a pattern which connects. And the pattern looks a bit like this. When you look at the various models of leadership, from Kurt Lewin's 3 types to Blanchard's 4 types or Daniel Goleman's 6 styles, there tends to be a scale. At one end, you've got an autocratic or authoritarian style, which is very much about being directive with lots of tell. And at the other end, you've got a democratic style where there's mainly a culture of encouragement. In the mid-80s, Bernard Bass developed the transformational leadership theory. So, there's lots of theory, but how does this all fit in the real world? Having spent over 30 years leading my own teams and working with many different kinds of leader, I've learned a thing or two about what seems to work well and what doesn't. I've known leaders to get stuck in a fixed, autocratic style, often using telling instead of inspiration. There's less encouragement, often accompanied by lots of fault-finding or micromanaging. And this can result in a highly dependent team waiting to be told what the next instruction is. And interestingly, the pattern can be the same for learning and development. Training that's focused on telling the learner what to learn, with less inspiration and encouragement and more task completion. We've all done that kind of training, haven't we? It's got a name: tick box training. These directive, task-focused style of leadership and learning have their place. But if every day you're being told what to do and told what you've done wrong, success can sometimes be just surviving a day without being criticised. So what's the alternative? Well, a successful leadership style includes more of the transformational. Here, the leader is inspiring. They set out a vision and they encourage their teams to achieve great outcomes. This style of leadership is certainly likely to create a team who make good choices, whose motivation to succeed is intrinsic. They are self-motivated. Now, don't get me wrong, these successful leaders aren't just fluffy. They usually agree clear expectations and challenge their team to achieve them. And here's the pattern which connects. Good learning programs or events do the same thing. They set out a vision or a destination for the learner. They encourage the learner to achieve great outcomes. And again, they're more likely to result in the learner making the choice to learn because their motivation to learn is intrinsic. They're self-motivated. There are clear expectations and a challenge to achieve them. This kind of learning approach is less about telling people what they should learn, but more about, here's an idea, it's proven, how could you make this idea fit in your world? So what, Steve, you might say? Nice pattern, well spotted, but what does it mean for me? Well, here's an idea. It's proven. Perhaps you could see how it might fit in your world. In my experience, focusing on a mainly autocratic or directive leadership style with lots of tell and very little support or encouragement, at best creates the dependent teams I mentioned earlier who are waiting to be told what to do next. And at worst, it can create teams who are stressed, disillusioned, and ultimately don't even want to be part of the operation. And often this task-focused, single style of approach happens because we're under pressure ourselves, and we don't take the time to decide which approach is going to work best. We default to telling people what to do because it's fast, it's easier, and we think it works, despite the reality of what's perhaps actually going on around us. So my suggestion is this: try taking a moment regularly to pause and decide with intention, what style are you going to choose tomorrow, today, or even right now? Is it going to get a better outcome if you're autocratic and directive, or transformational and supportive? Do you want people to do what you tell them, or people to choose to do the right thing because they want to do it? Pausing to think about it could significantly change the outcome. Now, you're likely to be an intelligent, experienced professional. I can't make you pause each day and choose a style, can I? I'm not going to tell you what to do. Well, I could, but that's not going to work, is it?